is early, but I'd like to introduce myself. I am Shenika Batchelor. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Armana Assisted Living in Egypt, and also the co-founder of All of Our Love Assisted Living in Wisconsin in the United States. Today, I stand before you as someone who deeply believes in the power of responsibility. My keynote today is, I am a Navy veteran. It's been a big part of my life, so you'll hear reference of that throughout, and it kind of give y'all understanding why I think the way I do. Why I think the way I do. I did join the military when I was 19, and I served 12 years. So the keynote today is, in the end, it's you. It says it's really about the 5 pillars of entrepreneurship responsibilities. This is not a theory. This is not a motivational slogan. It's me. It's my truth. It's what I learned through loss, through pain, through achievements, through failure, through purpose. Everything that I've been through, these are things that I learned. And before I even understood entrepreneurship, before I built a company, before I stood on this stage today, responsibility has already shaped my life. Now, I will explain, before I explain the pillars to you guys, I'm gonna take you back to when I was 14 years old. Now, that was the first time I learned about responsibility as a whole. I was taking care of my great-grandmother, helping my aunt and my cousin. We would wake up in the morning, and instead of getting ready for school, we was getting ready to take care of my great-grandmother, getting her pills together, getting her medication together. And I know a lot of us can relate because we have grandparents and parents that we do have to take care of. This is her, Queen Esther Batchelor. I call her Granny. She's the matriarch of my family. She was the woman who gave us strength. She cooked. She told us stories. And she kept our family together like glue. When she got sick with diabetes, mobility issues, the weight of age on her body, the responsibility fell upon us to take care of her. We used to have to change her diaper, help her shower, toilet her, lift her, comfort her, mix pills together in the morning for morning routines. It was so complicated for a 14-year-old. Too complicated for me to even ignore. It was important. I had to do it. And that's when I learned that responsibility came before freedom. My aunt, I had to watch her be stressed. The burden, and let me not call it burden. It was a responsibility. We had to take care of her because she took care of us. It's giving back everything that she gave to us. And having my aunt work full time, I seen the stress. She loved her mom deeply, but she was a single parent. She was helping my parents out with help living. I was staying there while my mom moved to California. So I didn't want to leave Wisconsin, so she allowed me to stay. My aunt took care of me. So it was just a lot. And to see someone go through that stress, that sadness, because they want to give they all, and it felt like you seen them give so much, and they had no energy for themselves. So it came a time where we had to have a family meeting. Now I'm going to tell you, in my family, we throw a family meeting for everything. So I think that's where I get some of that entrepreneurship. Let's have a meeting about it. So we had a family meeting, and we made a hard decision. We put her in assisted living. And that was something that we did not talk about publicly because it was so taboo. It was like, why would you put your grandmother in assisted living? Y'all don't care, but we had to. We had to find someone to help us take care of her better than we can take care of her. At least that's what we thought. When I walked into that place for the first time, visiting her, it was a smell that clung to my memory The smell of old carpet, disinfectant, urine, it clung to the walls, the hallways, to my memory. And just watching the residents lying against the wall like furniture in their wheelchairs. To see the TV blaring, the lights so dim, the energy so low, and I looked at my grandmother, the woman who birthed 12 kids, who cooked for every family gathering, who braided our hair, who told us stories about Humboldt, Tennessee, who laughed with her whole body, looked diminished, looked smaller, looked unhappy. She was quiet. And all I could think, it was not good enough for her. This is not good enough for anyone. She deserves more dignity. And I remember leaving that facility a couple days before she passed away. And I made a promise to myself that one day when I get older, I'm going to build a place where seniors will feel loved and their families feel proud. Anyone that knows me from the military, from my childhood, always tell you, like Shenika said, she's going to build a place. She's going to have assisted living. And I've been doing it. I mean, I went from small ones to now building a big luxury one. And I'm so excited. I'm so proud of what I'm doing because this was a dream that I had at 14 years old. And I kept to that vision. Now, that brings me to my first pillar. You're responsible for your story. Now, I told you my story and how it shaped me, how it made me what I become. People forget about their past. They forget about their mistakes, their childhood trauma, the broken relationships, the disappointments, and the detours. And everyone forgets that this is all a part of your data. It's all a part of who you are, who you become, and everything about your environment is who your story is, what your story is, what you've been through. My story was a teenage caregiver, exhaustion, guilt, and a sense of duty. That's why I'm here where I am now. My story was not my setback. Your story is not your setback. Your story is your training, your credibility, and your blueprint. You have to own ownership. You take your story, you embrace it, and you move forward. And you let that be your drive for your vision of what you're going to do in your entrepreneurship career. Responsibility of your circle. Oh, my God. You know, when you're in high school, you got them friends and ain't good friends your parents tell you about. This is true for business. This is true that you apply to every part of your life. Is so important. Your entrepreneurial success is not determined on how many people you know, but how many people truly align with you. My first business, when I first opened up my first assisted living, it was with my ex-husband. And I learned some painful truths. Affection is not alignment. Familiarity is not competence. Loyalty is not leadership. And chemistry is not strategy. That relationship didn't end a marriage, but it destroyed a business. It taught me that the wrong person in your circle will break things that you spent years building. But life is great because it showed me the other side of it. It showed me good things. Now today, for my business in Egypt, I am so honored and proud to say that my business partner, my best friend, she right there, she was a person I met in the military. So she understands discipline, pressure, integrity, and the mission. Working with her showed me what true alignment looks like. Support creates stability. Shared vision creates momentum. Mutual respect creates trust, and alignment creates purpose. And it creates space to expand. Now, I have another partner. That's where I'm supposed to be. Have another partner. She's Susie. I love her to death. She is my aunt, and she lives in Wisconsin. She is the reason why I can be here. She is the reason why I can be in Egypt. She runs the business in Wisconsin. She leaves me room to expand. She doesn't try to make me feel bad for leaving. She encouraged me, because it's not just me leaving to do something better for me, but I'm building our company. I'm expanding us beyond borders. When you have a good mentor, a support system, you can build foundations globally. You have to remember your circle is the thing that keeps you strong when you're down. It keeps you going when you're slow. It keeps you on top when you feel like you're at the bottom. So, no one who touches, you choose the people who touch your blueprint. You choose the person that sits at your table, and you choose who have access to your energy. Entrepreneurship is math. Your circle adds, subtracts, multiply, and divide. Choose the right mathematical equation. Now, okay. As entrepreneurs, we learn that people depend on you when you're exhausted, even when you're overwhelmed. Pillar 3, responsibility of stress. What is the value of your stress? Do anybody know the value of their stress? What is it like? I just can't take this. I don't care what nobody say, how much money they offering. If you don't know that, you need to learn it. You need to have those boundaries. You need to be able to say, no, this is not good for me. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good for what I got going on. Nobody talks about the ROE. Everybody always talking about ROI in business. ROI, return on investment. How much money you make? What's the percentage of returns? What's the profit margin? Yeah, that's important. But what is your ROE? Return on emotions. Is the emotional cost greater than the financial return? If it is, you already lost. Because you're going to be too stressed, too overwhelmed to think clearly, to build beyond. You have to balance your stress. There's going to be stressful moments. There are going to be times that you're going to be overwhelmed. There's going to be times where it's too many things on the books. It's going to be times where you got to make crucial decisions. When you got inspections, when you got numbers coming at you, investors, which I really don't know much about. It's my first time doing investment. I've been pretty much funding my own business, and globally is where I'm now going into that field. But I do understand that it is things that you have to keep in balance, and emotion is that. So when I first opened up, I bought this apartment building at auction with all the little money I saved from a deployment. And when I got there to this apartment building, it was terrible. I went up to the second floor, and I could see all the way in the basement. It had no floors. And I knew very little about construction, just watching my father, who was a contractor. That's about all I knew. It's like, go hand him the hammer. But I learned quickly about renovations. I was working 12-hour shifts on the military base, and I would drive an hour home and then go work 6 hours doing renovations on my own building. That was stressful. That was a lot to deal with. And after I finished, I was so excited. I was like, okay, look at my finished product. I did so good. Look at the bathrooms. Look at everything. I was thrilled to rent. I got my whole apartment building rented out quickly. And then I learned I don't like renters. They stress me out. I hated it. My return on investment and my ROE was not balanced. I did not like it. And I had someone come up to me and suggest that, hey, why don't you turn into assisted living? Okay. Did my research, looked at all the policies, procedures. I was already a nurse. Okay, let me figure out how to do this. Did some more construction, added some more wheelchair ramps, added some handicap things to the building, opened up my assisted living. I was happy. Not just because I was making more money per bed versus per apartment, but because I was actually feeling fulfilled. I actually achieved my dream that I really wanted in the beginning. So my return on emotions was balanced with my ROI. My ROI was looking real good. And my ROE was even better. So I was happy. And you have to look at those things. You're the one who has to live with the stress that you allow. You're the one who pays the ROE. You're the one who's protecting your peace. Please protect your peace. All right, decisions. Responsibility for your decisions. Now, as founders, as entrepreneurs, as CEOs, XOs, managers, whatever your position is, you are a decision maker. If you're a parent, you're a decision maker. If you're just a person, you're a decision maker. And you have to be able to live with your decisions and understand your decisions and be able to pivot if you make the wrong decision. And this is where a lot of entrepreneurs fall apart in. Every day, whether you realize it or not, your decision shapes the direction of your business. The people who you hire, the customers you attract, the culture you build, the reputation you create, and the money you make or lose is based off of your decisions. Your decisions should not be random. They should not be isolated because they are a ripple effect. If you make a bad decision, it's going to be a ripple effect. Entrepreneurship is a chain reaction, and you're the first link. Your decision affects everybody. So you have to understand that you are affecting the employees, the clients, the operation, your family. Because if you choose business over being at home, that affects your family and the stability of your entire system that you built. As a founder, your decisions are not private. It echoes through the entire organization. A delayed decision becomes someone else's crisis. A bad decision becomes someone else's problem. And an avoided decision becomes someone else's burden. So you need to have accountability. In the military, one thing that I learned about leadership is that I couldn't stand somebody who couldn't take accountability for their decisions. And it frustrated me the most. But it did teach me that I will not be that type of leader. I will take accountability for whatever decision I make, whether it's a bad one or a good one. If it's a bad one, I'm like, y'all, it's my bad. Let's see how we can fix it. And another bad thing is a person that hesitates to make a decision. Is this saying, my friend hates it, I'm about to say this. When I was a kid, I used to listen to Jay-Z. And in the Blueprint album, he said, he that hesitates in war, he that hesitates is lost. That applies to business. If you hesitate to make a good decision, if you hesitate to walk into a purpose, into a room, into a meeting, you will lose opportunity. You have to be able to go with confidence and clear decisions. Don't hesitate your decisions, because if be delayed decisions will lose momentum, clarity, opportunities, and your team will lose confidence. Because let me tell you, have you ever been under someone who didn't know how to make a decision or was too afraid to make a decision and you had to make a decision for them? You lose respect for that leader. You do not want people to be in your organization, in your business, and lose respect for you, because then your business is going to go downhill, because they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to see your vision. They're not going to be able to be on your team. And that goes with the alignment, making sure people in your circle, because if you're hesitating, your person in your circle should be able to tell you, you need to make this decision. They need to be motivating you. Make decisions, own decisions, correct decisions, learn from your decisions, and move on, even if it's a bad one. Learn to pivot. If you made a bad decision, what can I do to fix this? Fix it immediately. Do not wait. You are the one that's responsible for the choices that shape your future and that you're building. This is supposed to say 5. This is my last pillar. It says 3, but it's 5. Responsible for your vision. You are responsible for your vision. Ain't nobody see what you saw. Nobody felt what you felt when you decided to open this business. Nobody thought the thoughts or had the energy or got the momentum or the drive that you're going to have for your own business. You need to own your vision, believe in your vision. Don't let nobody waver you from your vision. Don't let nobody sit here and put thoughts in your head and say that it's not good enough or you're dreaming too big. Please don't let nobody tell you you're dreaming too big. I have so many people tell me that. Your thoughts are too big. Maybe you should start smaller. Start with 30 people. Start with 5 people. No. I want 150 people. What are you talking about? I know my vision. I know where I'm going. I know where I want this to be. And I will continue to move forward towards that vision. These are my 5 pillars, you guys. I am done. I hope that y'all learn from this. I hope you take accountability. I hope you make your good decisions. Move forward. Don't let nobody tell you anything. This is your dream, what you got going on. Nobody can tell you different. And just be amazing, because it's hard. It's scary for all of us. But, you know, that's what the world's about. So make mistakes and learn from them. Thank you.